Hey everyone, welcome back to Class Bites, your place for quick and easy lessons that make learning simple and fun. Hope that you liked our previous video about constructive and destructive plate boundaries, with simplified information for earthquakes and volcanoes. Today's topic is about how climate shapes every biome on Earth, and we'll discover nature's secrets. Grab a few minutes and let's learn something new together. Climate plays a central role in shaping the characteristics of biomes, which are large regions of the Earth defined by their distinct plant and animal life, as well as their overall environmental conditions. Essentially, the climates of a region, its long-term patterns of temperature, rainfall, and seasonal variation, sets the stage upon which the ecological drama of a biome unfolds. The warmth of the sun, the presence or absence of precipitation, and the regularity of seasonal changes interact to create conditions that favor certain types of life while limiting others. In this way, climate functions as both architect and regulator of the natural world. Temperature is one of the most immediate and influential factors. In regions where the sun's energy is intense year-round, temperatures remain high, allowing a rich diversity of plants to thrive. These conditions are typical of tropical climates, where dense forests grow, forming layers of canopy, understory, and forest floor that provide habitats for countless species. The constant warmth supports rapid growth and year-round biological activity. In contrast, areas with colder climates, such as polar or alpine regions, experience extreme limitations on the types of organisms that can survive. Here, brief summers allow only low-growing plants like mosses, lichens, and small shrubs to persist, while animals have adapted with specialized behaviors and physical traits to endure long, harsh winters. The temperature regime of a location therefore directly shapes the physiological and behavioral adaptations of life within a biome. Rainfall and moisture availability are equally decisive. Regions with abundant and evenly distributed precipitation tend to support lush, verdant landscapes where trees, grasses, and flowering plants flourish. Tropical rainforests exemplify this relationship, with high humidity and frequent rainfall sustaining a dense network of vegetation that, in turn, maintains a high diversity of animal species. Conversely, regions where rainfall is scarce develop biomes adapted to dryness. Deserts, characterized by minimal precipitation, host plants and animals that conserve water or endure prolonged drought. Cacti, for instance, store water in thick stems, while many desert animals are nocturnal, avoiding the daytime heat. The amount and timing of rainfall therefore dictate not only what types of organisms can survive, but also how they live, reproduce, and interact with one another. Seasonal patterns also leave a profound mark on biome characteristics. In temperate regions, for example, the alternation between warm summers and cold winters produces forests and grasslands that undergo visible transformations throughout the year. Deciduous trees, which shed leaves in autumn, demonstrate a direct response to the seasonal rhythm, conserving resources during periods of cold or drought and regrowing foliage when conditions improve. Animals, too, adjust their behaviors and life cycles in accordance with seasonal shifts, migrating, hibernating, or breeding at times when survival is most feasible. Seasonal changes act as a recurring environmental cue that organizes the life strategies of organisms, influencing everything from physical traits to social behaviors. The interplay between temperature, rainfall, and seasonal variation often creates gradients, giving rise to transitional zones or ecotones, where characteristics of adjacent biomes mix. For instance, the edge between a forest and a grassland may exhibit a mixture of tree species and open patches of grasses, reflecting intermediate climate conditions. Such zones highlight how even subtle differences in climate can produce variations in plant communities, soil types, and animal populations, demonstrating the sensitivity of biomes to their climatic context. Moreover, extreme events influenced by climate, such as prolonged droughts or unseasonably wet periods, can shift the balance of these regions, sometimes leading to long-term changes in biome composition. Elevation and geographical position further modify the effect of climate on biomes. Mountains, for example, display a vertical layering of ecological communities, where rising altitude mimics a movement toward higher latitudes. Warmer valleys support deciduous forests or grasslands, while cooler heights favor coniferous forests, and the peaks may host tundra-like conditions. Similarly, proximity to oceans or large lakes can moderate temperature fluctuations and increase humidity, allowing certain biomes to exist in regions that might otherwise be too harsh. These geographic influences interact with prevailing climate patterns to refine the distribution and structure of biomes across the globe. Ultimately, climate does not merely set the stage for life, it actively defines the limits, opportunities, and organization of biomes. Organisms evolve in response to prevailing climatic conditions, developing specific strategies for survival, growth, and reproduction. Soil formation, another key component of biomes, is also closely tied to climate, as temperature and precipitation influence decomposition rates, nutrient cycling, and the accumulation of organic matter. Consequently, the characteristics of a biome, the type of vegetation, the diversity of animal life, the structure of ecosystems, and even the appearance of the landscape are deeply intertwined with climate. Biomes are, in essence, living expressions of the climate, reflecting how energy, moisture, and seasonal rhythms shape the biological and physical fabric of the Earth. In summary, the defining features of every biome, from the dense, humid rainforests to the sparse, arid deserts and the frozen tundra, are inseparable from the climate of their respective regions. Temperature and rainfall set the limits for growth and survival, while seasonal patterns guide life cycles and ecological interactions. Elevation and geography modify these influences, creating local variations and transitions. Through this intricate network of interactions, climate acts as the primary sculptor of the natural world, determining the character and diversity of biomes that cover the Earth.
That's it for today's Bite of Knowledge. If you enjoyed this video, let us know what you want to learn next down in the comments. And hey, hit that like button and subscribe to Class Bites so you can keep learning and improving a little every day.